I usually come up with topics that I want to talk about at random times. And one that is high on my list to talk about is this idea of renting websites. First of all, have you heard about this?
No.
Okay.
I didn't even know it was a thing.
Have you ever been approached? You probably get 15 emails a day about SEO and other kind of nonsense stuff, right?
Yes.
Okay. As you and everyone else on earth, right? Have you ever been approached prior to our relationship or during with a company saying, pay us a low monthly fee in the few $100 range, no upfront cost, we'll build your website for you and launch? Have you ever been approached in that way?
Yeah.
Okay. So essentially no upfront cost whatsoever to build a site, just pay us a monthly management fee and that's it.
Yes.
Okay. But not much more explanation than that.
Not much more. Or like take over a biodomain, which might be different, but yeah.
So knowing not much about the subject, does that sound attractive to you? Like I'm wanting to get your initial like gut reaction to the statement that I just made, or potential issues or red flags that may or may not come up for you.
I would need to know more information. I feel like there's just a lot of holes in that. And like, what does this really entail? I don't know.
I'll tell you some stories and let me see what you think. So I generally say people that are have expertise in something can command a certain hourly rate, right? Mm-hmm. Whatever that rate is. I think your rate is probably higher than mine. We'll get into that later.
I can literally quantify a rate as a lawyer. So yes.
Yes, exactly. And as should, I think, anyone in a professional setting, I think. So I certainly have my own. Mm-hmm. And if someone was to come to me and say, hey, Alex, I want you to build a site. How long does it take to build a website? I'd say, okay, that's a great question. Even one page, okay, we have to design it first.
Oh, I know. I went through it with you.
You went through it with me. We went through a process in Figma, yes, as you remember, and we perfected it and we did all this stuff. That's going to take some amount of time. Mm-hmm. Reasonable amount, I think, for a home page, one page, maybe a full day, maybe 2 days. The rest of the pages, maybe a couple more days once we've established the thing. It's a good amount of time. Let's say 15 to 20 hours of actual work related to the design. Is that a fair statement?
Yes.
Okay. And if one has an hourly rate of, let's say, $100, $150 an hour, one can multiply that time and say, okay, the design should approximately take this amount of time in order to do, yes, right? Okay. So right out of the gate, my red flags are just going off big time, saying,
we'll do this for you for free.
We'll do this for free. Okay, well, my gut tells me that you're not going to be spending 20 hours on design, and then not to mention having to develop the approved designs, right? Because the Figma part is one of it, but then you have to build it in WordPress or whatever platform. So add on another 20, 30 hours of work. No one's going to spend 40 hours of time developing something, let's call it legitimate or great.
Do you think they just go to like GoDaddy and buy the, like do the template of the boxes?
Of course. That's what I'm getting to, right? So the question then becomes, what are they doing? Now, I can't speak for everyone. I don't know every marketing company in the world. I don't. And I could be wrong. This is just my truth. This is my opinion. But my opinion and my gut tells me that if someone's offering some service of whatever, pay $300 a month and no upfront fee, and we'll take care of absolutely everything under the sun for you with the website, they're not going to be spending that much time developing it. They're either going directly to WordPress instead of designing first, which likens it. In my book, I liken it to building a house without a foundation, without plans, without anything. Terrible idea. Lots of room for potential problems to happen.
Yes.
They're probably cutting some corners in order to put something up to pacify the client. Sufficient enough to say, okay, they put up the website. Right? You're with me so far?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So I think that much of the proper design and development and process of a custom site and a, let's say, legitimate site for a business is kind of glossed over, feels like to me. Again, I could be proven wrong. I'd like to be proven wrong, but I think this is the case. Let's take it a step further. And this dawned on me today, okay? I haven't thought too much about this, but as I'm thinking about the episode and what I wanted to talk about, I'll give an example. I have a home services company. They do projects for homeowners in their homes. And I took over a couple of their websites, one of which was with this whole rent website model. And they told me, oh, we're not paying that much. We're paying something like $650 a month for the website, right? I said, well, what exactly are you getting for this $650 a month? That number is going to add up quick, right? It's like $7,000 plus a year. You pay a couple years.
That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. What are you getting for this?
Yes.
They're like, oh, well, they do SEO. And I said, whoa, whoa. Hold on. I didn't even think about it at the time, but it hit me today. You're doing SEO. You're charging a customer for SEO on a website that they don't even own. That if you stop paying the $650 a month, the website's going to go away. They're not going to give it to you. Does that just sound like complete lunacy to you, or is it just me?
No, that's so baffling. But also, how many people fall for something like that, though? Because they just don't know.
Unfortunately, too many.
Yes.
Unfortunately, too many. Just today, I heard a similar story of, a lady calls me, has again, kind of a home service company somewhere in the Midwest. She has 3 websites. I look at them. I'm being nice to say that it's mediocre. It's 1 page. She says, oh, I paid $1,000 for this page, and they duplicated it 2 more times, so they charged me another $2,000 for that. I have 3 versions of the same 1-page thing for my 3 little businesses in different states.
But there's no navigation to click elsewhere?
No, it's a 1-page site, like literally. It's just 1 page. And look, there's reason to have landing pages for some instances, but I said to her, she said, how much do you charge for something like this? I said, look, multiples of what you paid, but it's not apples to apples. I said, why do you have these 3 sites? It's mediocre at best. I'm being nice, frankly. I'm sorry. And I don't mean to, it's sad. It's so sad.
It's the reality. Mm-hmm.
And I just said to her, look, there's so many people running around offering these services. Buyer beware, be careful in what it is that you are signing up for. Because again, even if it seems like a relatively low number, few $100s a month, no upfront investment of money. I personally would rather hire a group that charges upfront significantly. The end result I own is an asset to the business. It's something that helps and grows with the business. It shocked me. Again, the biggest underscore of all of this is that, we're paying a few $100s a month extra so they can do SEO for a site that they own and that I don't own. And if I stop paying them, everything goes away.
Do these companies also own the domain then?
Depends how bad the situation is. The answer is I've seen instances, unfortunately, that the company owns the domain name also.
That's super predatory.
It's interesting to speak with an lawyer, about the subject and get your kind of comment or reaction to that, right? Because what do I know about the law? I don't, but you have
I mean, not even from a legal perspective, but like just from a normal consumer perspective of like the appropriate way, my understanding and what you taught me was buy X amount of different domains that you feel that you want to own, come see you, talk about what makes sense for your business and what package works. That's the process. Yeah. I own these XYZ.
Sure.
Can you create a website that I ultimately also own? Yes. And can you make my dream come true?
Yep. Now, to underscore, to go deeper into that, we built something together, custom design, built in WordPress.
It's beautiful, by the way.
Thank you. If God forbid something happened to me tomorrow, it's yours, right? If for whatever reason your and my relationship stopped for whatever reason, it's yours, right? It's yours.
You host it.
Correct.
I own it. So you're renting from me.
That's right. I like that. And that's a good point. Although the website is completely in my control, I am your service provider, period. End of story. I am not some owner of a website. You wouldn't believe the story. Look, I've heard every story under the sun you could ever imagine in my 12 plus year career of this around, holding ransom, essentially, websites, if not paid.
Yes. Yeah.
Variations on the theme, but I've heard every story under the sun. So I think one of the biggest things I'd like to say is be cautious. Do not accept something that seems, maybe not too good to be true, but such a good financial deal for you now. Think about the logic. Any professional person that comes into a situation, whether it be a service provider in your home, whether it be an attorney, whether it be a person like me, you can command a certain hourly rate. Are you telling me that a full site can be built in 2 hours. I mean, come on.
Cheap isn't always good.
My grandmother, may she rest in peace, used to say, cheap is the most expensive.
I like that.
Thank you for joining me on this particular subject. And again, buyer beware, be cautious, do your due diligence, and make sure you're comparing apples to apples. Thank you.